NHS more broadly. And bringing those together as a community, I think, just provide a wonderful example to our colleagues and our patients. I would also like to say a big thank you to Ben and to our chaplaincy group, who do an enormous amount day to day supporting, engaging and working with all colleagues and patients across the Trust. And their ongoing work to support our faith networks is really valuable, so thank you very much for that. That's all I'd like to say. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon celebrating together. We've got some more speeches to go. Enjoy those speeches, and enjoy the community, the support, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Paul. And it's a great pleasure to invite our chair, Anthony, to come and give the speech.
Thank you very much, Ben, and thank you for inviting me to be part of Sikh Prayer Day. It's a first for me, and it's a real privilege to join in recognising this tradition and this important moment in the Sikh calendar. Now, I've been doing a little bit of reading about Sikhism, and one of the principles that stands out to me and relates so poignantly to our work in the NHS and in our trust is Seva, the selfless service. The idea of acting not for recognition or reward, but out of compassion and a genuine desire to help others. I think this is particularly strong in an organisation like ours. Every day, across our hospitals and services, I know colleagues are embodying this spirit, supporting patients and families with kindness and supporting each other with care. One of the reasons why I applied to the role of chair relates to this very same principle. I wanted to offer my knowledge and skills and experience to an organisation that does so much to support others. I guess, in a way, my own form of selfless service, which I feel really committed to. I'm also told that Seva is not an individual act. It's something strengthened when we work together. The NHS was built on that very belief, and we know that our teams achieve much more when we work together and when we work in partnership. Whilst I'm out and about and meeting different services and our amazing colleagues who make very significant work, and I'm really overwhelmed by the commitment and the extraordinary teamwork that I've seen, often during challenging circumstances and pressures, particularly at this time of year. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our Sikh colleagues for the example that you set through the principle of Seva, and for the contribution that you make to the culture and values of our trust. Again, I would like to thank you for the absolutely warm welcome that you have shown to me as an incoming trust. I've been around for 2 months, but I have to say I feel very much part of the community and the family, so thank you for that. And thank you for your commitment to compassionate services which enrich all of us. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Thank you, Anthony. And I'd like to invite Brendan, our Chief Exec.
Hello everybody, I'm Brendan Brown, I'm the Chief Exec here at Leeds Teaching Resource. It's great to be with you today. It's great to be in such a joyous celebration and reflection. And I think, as Anthony and Paul said, I'm really pleased and indeed honoured to be joining you for the prayer day today. And it is truly an honour to be invited. Since stepping into the role, I I have set my stall out that we need to do the right thing for the right reason, to get the right result for the communities that we care for. And I've set my stall out quite clearly in leading with openness, transparency, and an unwavering commitment to integrity. These aren't just organisational ambitions, they're deeply human ones in my opinion, and I think they really resonate with the Sikh principles of honest and truthful living. One of the first things I learned from colleagues in our Sikh colleague network was the emphasis Sikhism places on living truthfully in all actions. And that struck a chord with me, because in the NHS, acting with honesty, respect and dignity isn't optional. It's a must. It's the foundation of the care that we provide. You'll be aware, as I'm aware, that our trust has been through a period of significant unrest, and that in some areas the public faith in what we do and in some of our services has truly been shaken. There is no more important time than now to rebuild the trust in what we do. And I firmly believe that being open and transparent with each other and with our patients is one of the strongest foundations on which we can rebuild. So, I want to end with another thank you for creating spaces like today, for the joy that I think Anthony and I have sensed in this room, and the moments where we can reflect not only on faith, but on the values that bind us as colleagues and as a community. Your commitment to truthful living and service is a powerful reminder of the standards we must all hold ourselves to as we work to restore confidence and deliver the highest possible standard of care to the communities that we're here to serve. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendan. One of the gifts of Sikh Prayer Day is the opportunity to learn new things and to hear things that are important to colleagues and our faith community. And so it's a great delight to ask Agaton to address us about the immense legacy and teaching of Guru.
So yeah, I've been invited to say a few words about Guru Nanak Badsha. There came the message that they left, and the people that carried on living the legacy of those words from then till now. So approximately 500 years ago, Guru Nanak Badsha was in an area of Punjab, north of India, where predominantly Hindus and Muslims would live for the large part in peace with each other. But as happens in the world today, there's lots of strife happening between countries and religions, and there's equally as much happening between those two communities as well. And one of the first things he said was that there is no Hindu and there is no Muslim. And quite often I make this share to kids groups, and within minutes or within seconds I usually ask, why do you think somebody would say something like that? In an area where there's just Hindus and Muslims for the most part, why would somebody come along and say there is no Hindu and there is no Muslim? And within seconds, somebody will put their hands up and say, because we're all equal. And that's exactly right. And Guru Nanak says, regardless of what colour you are, what language you speak, what part of the world you're from, what shape or size you are, what sexuality you have, or the religion you follow, or language you speak, we're all the same. We're made of the same flesh and bones, and well, actually, kids put their hand up and say, "I'm not," at that point. But yeah, you know, this is the kind of stuff that Guru Nanak talked about for the sort of first part of his life, to let everybody appreciate and understand that we are actually all one, and it's not just about the flesh and bones. It's about we all have emotions, we all have feelings, and that's what defines us. And if we all have emotions, positive or negative, and we all have similar sort of relationships and strives in life, then, you know, if we treated each other and recognise that sort of oneness between each other, it would be a better world. Everything else we cling to, whether it's a football team or a religion or a country for that matter, it's all small potatoes, really, in the grand scheme of things. And Guru Nanak says we can do better than that. And quite often, whenever a talk's being shared about Guru Nanak's main principles, if we talk about 1,430 segments of the Guru Granth Sahib, the text, the volume that is now left behind by Guru Nanak's spoken words that have been recorded, unadulterated, and still read today in every single Gurudwara across the world. If we were to summarise that amount of content, it basically comes down to 3 basic principles. And the first one being that Nam Japana, which is meditation, is highly important for all humans. Guru Nanak didn't say, I've come to form another religion, I want you guys now to be called something else separate. He was here to simply speak to mankind and said, wherever you are as a person, you can better yourself still through meditation. Because as much as we've just said, we're all equal. Because we're human, no matter how hard we try, we literally will not treat each other as equals all the time. Simply because we do have our ups and we have our downs, and this sneaky little thing inside here does judge. It's part of being human too. But Guru Nanak says we can better that and aid that through meditation, and as it begins to settle and balance out our emotions, we become better versions of ourselves. And regardless of what stage of life we might be at, whether somebody's on a scale, we consider them to be on the low end of a scale as far as human decency is concerned, or the higher end of the scale as far as best a human can possibly be. But Nanak says it really doesn't matter what end of the scale you're on, you can be better than that already. And meditation is key to that, because emotional stability and therefore judgments we have against each other can be managed and enhanced through that. Secondly, he said if we truly treat each other equally, then living honestly, working honestly is paramount. Because if I take advantage of somebody, make money of somebody because I'm swindling them, I'm hardly treating anybody equal. So these are practical life messages, everyday messages, how to operate, are emphasized over and over in multiple ways in Guru Granth Sahib, through musical measure, through emotional anecdotes, and also lots of analogies in order to get this monkey mind of a human being to begin to appreciate its potential. So living honestly is key if we're truly trying to live as one people. And then lastly, sharing. And usually I get a massive chorus from kids at that point because they say sharing is. Wow, let's try that again. Sharing is. All right, I don't think that requires much more to that. You shy people. But yeah, that one speaks for itself. And Guru Nanak says, whatever you call yourself, basic principles matter. He wasn't interested in somebody like me wearing a turban, keeping a beard, following X, Y, Z rules. What he cared about is how are you as a person? Are you even trying to connect with your true self? Meditation is a key part of that. And in doing so, whether somebody was a Hindu, whether there was a Muslim, or no denomination, they really resonated with it. And that message has amplified over the last few centuries. And even now, the youngest major religion of the world has mushroomed throughout the world, because the principles stand true with anybody with a good heart or good intentions, or somebody who's genuinely trying to connect to the inside and develop. That's what Guru Nanak came to speak about, regardless of what denomination you might already belong to or non. Guru Sahib tried to treat everybody equally. And in today's age, as modern as we think we are, we still have the same problems with each other, which means we haven't really developed that much, really, as far as our mindset is concerned. So how modern do we truly believe ourselves to be? So these are questions that Guru Nanak constantly asked us to ask ourselves. In Gurbani, there's a Gurbani meaning the words of Guru Nanak are written in the Guru Granth Sahib. There's many phrases that come to mind for average Sikhs. Things like Bande, Khoj, Dil Har Roz. So, oh man, just reflect on yourself every single day. Where am I? Am I a better version of myself today than I was yesterday? We will make mistakes. Guru Nanak says, own that. Recognize that we are fallible and emotionally fraught sometimes. I would dare anybody to put their hand up in this room here to say, I'm completely steady and never have an off day. Pin drop silence. Yeah. Because it's part of being human. But Guru Nanak says that if we reflect, only then can we be true to ourselves and recognize where we need improvement and this kind of thing, regardless of what religion you're from or not. So this type of self-reflection And these 3 guiding principles are kind of explode out into a mass of wisdom that we will be reflecting on a bit later on, I understand, when we sing some of these words too. So I think we're going to have an opportunity to have translations as well at that time. So I invite everybody to just have a moment of reflection so we truly can remember Guru Nanak at this special time, not just today during his birth anniversary, but every day. It's not about remembering Guru Nanak per se, but these principles, guiding principles that I've more and more, re-engaged with interfaith events. And nearly all religions have the same or very similar founding principles. There's a lot of commonality in mankind. We see differences in each other very quickly. But if we look at the commonality, there's actually more of those than not, right? So that means it should have been easy for us all. The amount of Christians that there are in the world, the amount of Muslims that there are in the world, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jews, all these people have great guiding principles that mirror each other for the large part. Yet we still don't get on very well. So these are real life questions that the Nanak asks us to pose to ourselves sometimes, so that we're not just living it, we're actually breathing it every single day. So the Nanak wasn't interested in Sunday service. He wasn't interested in celebrating through parties, even though we do that. But to reflect on core messages that help you be a better you and me be a better me. I'm not sure how much time I've got left. Yeah, apologies, because I walked in late because of circling the car park for about 30 minutes. I didn't realise how much time went by. But yeah, so this is what Sikhs will remember throughout the world. Guru Nanak's founding principles of sharing what you have, food or otherwise, is a core thing now throughout the Gurdwaras in the whole world. So a legacy that Guru Nanak left behind is when his father asked him to invest and make something of himself, he gave that money to some poor sadhus, spiritual people who were able to provide for themselves very well. And when he came back, he received a slap from his dad for saying, "What have you squandered this money for? I told you to make something out of it." He said, "I did. I made people's lives better. And that was my investment." And Sikhs say today, one of the elders in the room might be able to remind me how much Guru Sahib spent at that time, because that's recorded. But it was a very insignificantly small amount. And that investment has resulted in 550 years later, millions upon millions of pounds still being spent now for food for anyone. Langar is the concept that Guru started that day. And today, in the Golden Temple, for instance, the Harmandir Sahib, the most popular Gurdwara, I guess, in the world, 750,000 people are fed a hot meal per day, and 3/4 of those people are not Sikhs. And that same practice is replicated across the Gurdwara in the whole world. That was Guru Nanak's investment that day, that he received a slap for. So when we think of sharing and how we go about it, these principles strike at the core of what makes a Sikh a Sikh, and they live it and breathe it. I think in this country, we might be 2% of the population or just under, but Sikhs are recorded as being the highest donators to charity of all communities. And that says something. It means that Guru Nanak's wisdom has reached the psyche to a very deep level of the Sikhs, and wherever they are, they attempt to bring that into their occupation, into their life, and into their communities. So this is an opportunity to share. It doesn't matter whether we call ourselves a Sikh or anything else. The word Sikh simply means a student of life, a student of the universe, a student of the self, a student of Guru Nanak's messages. And temporarily, we're all Sikhs, really, by our standards, because we're simply trying to be a better version of ourselves. So I invite everybody to, when we do have an Ardas later today, Ardas is where we formally stand up to pray. We pray to whatever we think in our hearts resonates with us by way of a God, an energy, a light, or a source, what we would call a vibration, this vibrational energy throughout the universe. And we are invoking that strength to say, as part of the NHS or in the healthcare, those that work here, those that are being served here, may they all receive positive energy through our hands. And we might be speaking in Punjabi, so I thought I'd give a quick summary just now to allow everybody to appreciate and have a presence of mind during that moment. Whether we connect with the Punjabi words or not, we'll have an opportunity to make that Ardas come to life. So thanks for listening. Sorry for taking so much of your time. I'll call Ben back. And until then, bye with you, Carl.
The call to not only have principles, but the living out of principles, and that rich making the Sikh faith, and also connecting with the lessons that are human lessons about how we can sort of accept our frailty and but also learn from that, learn from our mistakes. Healthcare, like aviation, is somewhere that it's really important that we own up to our mistakes and learn from them so that we can be better. And I know that that's a part of what Brendan and the team are looking for. One of my mistakes is that despite wearing contact lenses, I also now have to wear reading glasses, and I clearly have not been wearing my reading glasses, so I need to apologise to Paul from the charity and invite Paul to come and address it.
This is rapidly becoming one of my favourite days in the calendar that I have the privilege of attending. Hello, my name's Paul Hopkins. I'm Director of Fundraising for Leeds Hospitals Charity, and it is an absolute honour to be here again with Leeds Hospitals Sikh Network. Over the past year, our partnership has deepened, and gatherings like this remind us of the power of unity. At Leeds Hospitals Charity, our values remain the same: transparency, togetherness and transformation. And today I'd like to reflect on the second of these, togetherness. Not as an idea, but something that we live every day. In the last year, we've seen communities with creativity and generosity come together, helping us find projects that make a real difference for the patients and staff of Leeds and beyond to West Yorkshire. And that spirit echoes the principles of oneness, which is central to this celebration. Walking through our hospitals, I'm reminded that innovation and care are driven by people, staff who go beyond their duties and supporters who believe in making things better. And many of you here today have played a part in that journey, and your commitment inspires us to keep striving. But our partnership with Leeds Teaching Hospitals Trust is more than just about funding. It's about creating opportunities for excellence and compassion, and together we've shown what communities can do, and extraordinary things are made possible because of you. Thank you for welcoming us here again today. Your dedication and generosity really do make a difference, and we look forward to continuing this journey together, building stronger connections, supporting our hospitals and improving lives across our community. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and thank you for inviting us here today. But Dill asked me to make a point today, and I wouldn't be doing my job as a fundraising director if I didn't point out the fact that we have a stall at the back. Please come and see us at the end of the day, and we're more than happy to talk to you about the work of Leeds Hospitals Charity. Thank you very much.
And what I would also like to say is thank you to Paul, and if you can convey our thanks to the charity. So much of what we achieve around religion and belief in the trust is supported by the charity. It isn't heralded, it's not a big thing, but a lot of our faith and belief celebrations are supported there. Things that we take to the patients at the bedside, and materials, so much is supported by the charity in a very quiet way, but we are grateful to you. And the work of the charity also allows an important thing that we do as a trust. I think one of the things that we're called to do as people of faith and belief is build bridges. When we don't sit as hospitals isolated from our communities, we are part of our communities, we represent our communities, and that working together in partnership and bringing the community in, and it's great to see so many members of the wider Sikh community in Leeds, which is such a vibrant and important community. So thank you for the support of the charity, but also the support of the community and that working together. We're now going to come to the spiritual part of the programme, and I've got just a few things that will help us kind of go deeper into that. First of all, part of the reverence of the prayer and the singing is we just ask that there is no clapping. It's just receiving that in our hearts and being present. The other thing for those of us who haven't got head covering, we just ask that, apologise, that we just ask that you get a head covering from the back of chapel, just so that we can be respectful and reverent while the prayers go on. So we'll just take a moment to reflect on what's been said, like Agus and others have said. If we can get a head covering, and then just move to the curtain when we've got our head coverings in place.
The word wall can be translated to root, and mantra or mantra is a word or phrase that is chanted or repeated. This is the opening verse of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Sikh scriptures, and is the foundation for the teachings that follow. It can be considered a spiritual summary of the core values and philosophy of the Sikh faith. The first key principle is that of oneness. Ik, all God. Often simplified to one God, but actually on a deeper level, meaning one creator, sustainer, and destroyer. An energy that resides both separate to and within the entire universal creation. Through the Mool Mantra, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings emphasize that one divine energy is the eternal truth, is beyond the cycle of birth and death, and has no physical being. Let's experience this together. We will then follow with 2 hymns or shabads, reflecting on Guru Nanak Dev Ji's arrival on this earth. Please join in if you can.
Happy तारे जहाँ जहाँ खालसा साहिब जी तहाँ तहाँ रछिया रियायत देग तेग फतेह बिरद की पैज पंथ की जीत श्री साहिब जी सहाय गुरु खालसा जी के बोल वाले बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। सिखा नूं सिखी दान केस दान रहत दान विवेक दान विशाह दान भरोसा दान दाना सिर दान नाम दान श्री अमृतसर साहिब जी के दर्शन इशनान चौंकियां झंडे मंगे जुगो जुग अटल धर्म का जयकार बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। सिखा दा मन नीवा मत उच्ची मत पत दे रखे आप वाहेगुरु। हे अकाल पुरख अपने पंथ दे सदा सहाई दातार दियो श्री ननकाना साहिब ते होर गुरुद्वारियां गुरधामां दे जिन्हां तो पंथ नूं विछोड़िया गया है खुले दर्शन दीदार सेवा संभाल दा दान प्यारे खालसा जी नूं बख्शो जी। निमाणियां दे मान सतगुरु निताणियां दे ताण निओटियां दी ओट निआसरियां दे आसरे धन धन सतगुरु श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी महाराज जीओ। आप जी दे पावन हजूर सिमर अरदास बेनती है जीओ। लख खुशियां पातशाहियां जे सतगुर नदर करे जिसनूं बख्शे सिफत सालार नानक पातशाही पातशाह। ये काटी सिरक दयाल प्रभ से जन लगे भगते हर गुरु नानक जिन परसियो ते इत उत सदा मुक्ते। सतगुरु जी आप जी का कोटान कोट धन्नवाद। इस स्थान ते सतगुरु जी हमेशा की तरह आप जी ने सतगुरु जीओ नैशनल हैल्थ ट्रस्ट के सतगुरु सच्चे पातशाह जी सिख नट के कर्मचारियों को उद्यम बल समर्थ प्रेरणा बख्शी है। निरंकारी जोत सतगुरु श्री गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज जी दे प्रकाश पुरब ते सतगुरु जीओ सत संग दियां घड़ियां बख्शिश कीतियां सतगुरु सच्चे पातशाह जीओ। सजे दीवाना अंदर तुर्की बाणी दे शब्द कीर्तन बाणी इतिहास विचार कथा हुई है सतगुरु सच्चे पातशाह जीओ। सेवादारां दी सेवा थाएं पाउणी होइयां अनेक कई भुल्लां दी खिमा बख्शिश करनी। जगत जलंदे दे तारक सतगुरु श्री गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज जीओ। इसे तरह उद्यम समत बल दे के सतगुरु जीओ गरीबनवाज जीओ इहो जय कारज बख्शिश करने। नाम जपना धर्म दी किरत करनी वंड छकना सिद्धांतां ते चल सकण लई सतगुरु जीओ समुची मानवता दे सिर ते हथ रख के सतगुरु जीओ सेवा लैनी हर प्रकार दी सहायता आसरा दे के करतार्थ करना। समूह संतां दी हाजरी प्रवान करनी दरों घरों गुर सिੱਖੀ प्रेमा भगती सेवा सिमरन अमृत वेले दा जागना इत्यादक शुभ गुण प्रदान करने। सतगुरु नानक प्रगटिया मिटी धुंध जग चानण होवा जो कर सूरज निकलिया तारे छपे अंधेर पुलवा। जो जीव आपदे दर आवे सुराजी जावे कला पावन नाम दी वरते करे गुर कलगी कर जगदीश बोले सो
Thank you to the Seat Network for inviting us to celebrate with you. Thank you for the hospitality of heart speaking to heart. And thank you for feeding us with spiritual insights and praying for us and with us. We are indebted to work alongside you as colleagues. We are enriched by all that you bring into the life of the Trust. Thank you ever so much for all that you've brought today, and I understand that the offer of hospitality continues, but I want to say a huge thank you for many hours of work, for your kindness, for your grace, for your compassion and your hospitality, and it's been a real privilege to learn more and to celebrate alongside you, so thank you.